What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Buffalo Bills defense before we play against them. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I guess we can look at some of the numbers for this Patriots game. What did the Patriots defense do to them? They had a forced fumble. That's about it. Hopefully we can force a couple more turnovers out of them. That'd be great. One way or another. Whether it be fumbles, picks, whatever. Hopefully we can pressure Josh Allen into some picks, but why was I looking at the Patriots defense? That didn't make sense. Wow, they really did shut them down. But the Patriots offense is bad too. Then again, so is ours. It's just to get a general idea of what the Bills defense does. Pretty good gap integrity there. These are bunch formations, but they still seem to be giving quite a bit of space. We might not watch the Patriots game too much. We might watch them against Pittsburgh a little bit. They seem very good against the run. Which, I mean, we don't really run the ball that well anyway. We have these last two games. Hopefully we can get something going. And if they do bench some of their starters, that'll help. But I don't think they should. Damn. I forgot about that. Cam finally throws an accurate ball this season and you drop it. Yeah, they are giving them a lot of space. That's interesting. Are they trying to tempt Cam into throwing the ball? Is that what they're doing? Let's go away from the Patriots game because I think that's a bad example. Yeah, let's look at Pittsburgh. That might be an interesting one. I want to see if they're still doing that. No, they're not. They do seem to like to mess with their safeties. To change, they like to disguise what their safeties are going to do. They make it look like this is the high safety and this is the robber, but they're actually going to swap. He's going to come in and he's going to be a lurker. That's interesting. We've seen a lot of defenses do that this year. The Raiders just did that to us this week. Yeah, there they go doing it again right there. They're going to move right before the snap. I want to see if they do it the other way too. Okay, this... I want to see if they ever drop him down. So now he's in the... No, there we go. They got them both back there. They have a lot of movement in their defense. It's not even just the safeties. Like, look at the way they shift around. Kind of like we do. A lot of misdirection. Interesting. They do really seem to like to let him creep up and then him become the single high safety. That seems to be the thing that they do the most. But they don't just start him off that way. And also, one of the benefits of doing that too is that when the safeties are like this, they're close enough to be able to communicate with each other. They should be able to hear each other, especially without fans in the stands. So they can give each other some last-minute communication as well before he drops down and he comes back. A lot of man coverage, too. This is a fairly similar defense as ours. Like, schematically. Like, what they like to do. I mean, they're mostly a 4-3. But other than that, like, what they do with their linebackers and safeties is very similar to us. So, if they're going to do a lot of single high safety things, then attacking the outsides would be the most optimal option. It's interesting. Might switch games here. Yeah, I want to find who's the best offense that they've played against. Kansas City, there you go. I want to see what they did against Kansas City. Man coverage, 2 high safeties. They're both going to drop back. They're actually playing 2 deep. Why am I looking at the Chiefs defense? I'm dumb. No wonder it looks different. Playing off them, but it's bunch formation, so it makes sense. But they are playing 2 deep. That's interesting. Okay, so now you do have a single high safety, but you're not disguising it. You're just showing exactly what you're doing. Gonna rush 4. Kind of similar to the Raiders' defense a little bit too, schematically. Gonna start off 2 deep. You're gonna stay that way. It's kind of difficult to try to figure out because it looks like what they do is based on the matchup. If that be the case, might want to watch some of the week 2 game against us. Yeah, that's interesting too. This safety is giving the illusion that he might come down. But the way his feet are moving, it's looking like he's not really doing that because he is backpedaling a little bit. It looks like he's trying to give the illusion that he might come down, but he's not. I mean, it makes sense against Kansas City to have two deep safeties because of how explosive their offense is. Yeah, there you go. There they go doing their usual thing. I haven't seen him drop the strong safety come down too much. That's interesting. There we go. So on this play, because it seems like this is technically the free safety, even though a lot of times he plays over on the over on the defense's left side, so that would make him technically a strong safety. But they just like to move him, it seems. And when they did move him, that's when they actually did bring somebody down from this side and have a robber. That's interesting. But they still keep him as a single high by moving him. So they like to keep him deep. That's good to know. Yeah, let's go to their game against us, and that'll show what it looked like in the beginning of the season as well, if they were still doing these things. So, yep, they're still doing it, but this time they actually did bring this guy. They're bringing him on a blitz. That's interesting. So they do it sometimes. Now he's back to his spot. But they do seem to do a lot of man coverage. What the fuck? What the fuck's my phone blowing up for? Whatever. Jordan Howard. Shh. Wouldn't mind seeing some of this against them too. Yeah, they're back to single high safety. But once again, they don't disguise it, but they are bringing this guy down. They haven't been doing that in their most recent games. Interesting. But overall, I think we, for the most part, have what they like to do down. So it seems like they like to give illusions with their safeties, like we've seen with a lot of teams this year. It is usually going to be a single high safety. It'll just start off looking like it's going to be too deep, and then they'll move right before the snap. We've seen a lot with the Raiders doing the opposite, where they would make it look like it's a single high safety, but then the safety would move, and then one of them would come up, and then the other one would go out. So the Bills are basically doing the opposite. They're making it look like it's too deep when it's actually single high. The Raiders made it look like it was single high when it was actually too deep. They do seem to do some too deep things as well, but not so much. They did it a lot against Kansas City, against a really explosive offense, but that's definitely not the case for us. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a lot of single high safety against us. They seem to do a lot of man coverage either way, which is something that we can exploit. White is going to be quite a big problem as well. Hopefully Devontae Parker can go. That would be very helpful. But this is going to be a tough game. I mean, we knew that it was going to be tough. I mean, luckily, if we so happen to lose this game, there are still 3 other paths to the playoffs. If the Browns lose, we're in. If the Colts lose, we're in. If the Ravens lose, we win. The Browns play Pittsburgh, so that's possible that they might lose. The Ravens play the Bengals, so that's probably not very likely. And the Colts play Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville could be a bit of a trap game because Jacksonville has already clinched the first overall pick, right? Even if they win this game, they'll still have the first overall pick. So I wouldn't be shocked if they decide to play up for this game for a bit of a moral victory of keeping their division rival out of the playoffs. So that could be a bit of a trap game. That could be something to watch. But anyway, I think that'll be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.